Hello, fellow pen lovers and stationery enthusiasts. It's Christy here, Snarky Wordsworth over on Instagram and Reddit, and I have a brand new video for you today. I know I usually talk about fountain pens and fountain pen accessories, but today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I have been a lifelong stationery lover, and I really do like writing utensils of all kinds, not just fountain pens. So I thought this would be a great time to put together a little video all about my favorite non-fountain pens, markers, and pencils. Like always, none of these have been sponsored. It just happens to be that I really love these pens. I use them in my everyday planner, in my work planner, in my everyday carry. So hopefully one of these might spark your interest. Maybe you've not heard of it, or you're just curious and you just wanted to have somebody else reaffirm your curiosity. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And the first items I want to talk about are fine liners. So I think we're all pretty familiar with a fine liner. It's just a rather hard-tipped fine line marker. I really like these ones in particular. These are the Unipin Fine Lines. These are waterproof. They're fade-proof. They are really quick to be waterproof at that. So once you put down a line, I have been able to highlight over it within a few seconds. So I just find them very, very convenient. My favorite line size is the 0.1 with the 0.3 in a quick second place. I use both of these in my work planner a lot because I need to highlight a lot in my work planner. The 0.1 I will use for appointment details, and then the 0.3 I use to write out all of my boxes and all of the different categories and lines so you can see what different sections go where. I also use the 0.3 to further darken lines in my Hobonichi Weeks, which is my daily planner, and I love these two. But yeah, I definitely recommend these. I absolutely love them, which is not to say that other fine liners aren't great, but these are my preferred ones, the Unipin Fine Lines. Okay, moving on to gel pens. My all-time favorite gel pen is the Pilot Hi Tec C Coleto 3. I love this. I have this in several colors, and I do think part of it stems back from like the nostalgia of my childhood in the late 80s and 90s, where we used to have these huge, chunky, multicolored pens that were impossible to use because the barrel was so wide. It was like 2 inches in diameter, and my tiny, tiny hands could not fit around it, and I'd have to write in these awful scribbles, but you could choose from like 16 colors, so that was super awesome. Now, however, we have these beautiful, sleek versions of multicolored pens that still allow you to have your choice of shades. Pilot has a ton of different colors that you can get for their Coletos, because the Coleto 3 just happens to be my preference, but you can get it in a 4, a 5. You might be able to get it in a 6, I'm not sure, but this is my preferred barrel size. And the colors I have in this one are blue, brown, and black. I almost always have a black one in. But they're really good colors, but you can also get significantly more flashy colors. There's like a bright, bright pink and a bright green. So just really, it's whatever your preferences are, that's what you can do. I get mine in the 0.3 millimeter line, and I love it because it puts down a really thin, clean line of ink, and it just works really well with my small style of handwriting and the tiny grid size of the Hobonichi Weeks. So if you're looking for something like that, that still gives you options for color that aren't fountain pen pens and aren't fountain pen inks, I really do highly recommend the Hi Tec C Coleto 3. It's a great pen, lots of fun to use with loads of colors. If you just want a nice, sleek black gel pen that still has a really fine line, I really do also enjoy the Uniball Signo. This one is in the Ultra Micro 207 line, and this puts, I believe, a 0.38 millimeter line. It's a clicker. Everybody likes a clicker, and it has a really comfortable grip as well. So if you just want a pen that was going to give you a really clean black line, I really do also enjoy this one, though the nostalgia factor and the fact that I can pick multiple inks and some pretty wild colors at that in the Coleto 3 makes this one edge this one out just a hair. Okay, pencils. If you are a mechanical pencil person or you're just looking for a mechanical pencil, I absolutely adore this one. This is the Zebra DelGuard mechanical pencil in 0.5, and I don't know if you can see it, but this is a Kiki's delivery service one. I love Kiki's delivery service, and the second I saw it, I had to have it. Didn't even really know if I was going to like the DelGuard. I'd never written with one before, but I really do enjoy it. So I don't know if you can see the point on this. The metal point goes quite a ways out, and then you can just see a little bit of the lead. What's great about this is if you were to drop it or press too hard, the lead actually retracts into this long sort of metal needle bit, so your leads don't break as easily. And man, let me tell you, I break lead left and right in a lot of mechanical pencils, but this one works so well with my hand and the way that I hold my pen and the way that I write. I do really like the 0.5 lead in this. It never feels like it's too thick or too thin. It just works really, really well. Plus, there's just the fact that it's a beautiful little pen. You don't have to get the Kiki version. There's tons of other like ordinary plain colors if you just like clean lines, but they also have other designs from different licensed properties as well. So, you know, you'll probably be able to find something you really enjoy. But if you are looking for a sturdy mechanical pencil that protects your lead and that puts down a really great line, definitely check this one out. The DelGuard is great and it's a lot of fun to write with. Okay, next up are Tombow dual brush pens. Everybody knows these. You've seen them on videos everywhere. I have tried so many different kinds of dual tip brush pens in this size, and these are really just my favorites. I really do like the way Tombow's brush pens work. I think the color selection is absolutely gorgeous, and my two favorite colors are 192. This is the asparagus color, and 992, this is sand. I have a ton of Tombows, like an embarrassing number of Tombows. For someone who really only uses them for headers and like big lettering projects, but I really do reach for these more than any other one. I've had to replace my asparagus multiple times just because I've run through them so much. But I really do like them in general. If you were going to just get one pack and you happen to like sort of muted tones, I would definitely recommend the current Cottage package that has some really beautiful muted tones. I use those a lot besides these two. But yeah, Tombow's, you can't really go wrong. I do really think they're great. I've tried like Marvi Uchida's and then some of the like more generic brands. I've tried like the Amazon line and a couple of others like Doris when Doris was still a thing. But I always come back to Tombow. So you know, and if you are in fact looking for some really beautiful earth tones, 192 and 992, man, these two are great. I love them. If you are a big fan of browns and beiges and sort of pink tones, I highly recommend Crayola's Colors of the World markers in the sort of like thick type. I absolutely adore these. I wish that they had them in the Super Tips because 100% I would totally buy them again. I love the Super Tips line, such a good marker. But these ones work really, really well. You can definitely kind of replicate a brush lettering style with these, though I will say after a bit of use it does sort of mangle the markers, but these particular tones are so great. These are my three favorite colors. I use these all the time. This one is medium deep almond, this one is deep rose, and then this one is medium golden. And they're just great. I sometimes will do hand lettering with these, but I also just a lot of the time will use these to sort of highlight different things, especially in my work planner, because my work planner is like very earth tony. And they just have a lot of really great colors that really complement one another, and I just really enjoy them, and they're really affordable. I think I got a pack of like 36 for less than $7. I'm pretty sure it was 6 something. So super affordable, great colors, you can't go wrong. Okay, the final line of pens that I wanted to talk about are these small brush pens. I use these pretty much all the time in all kinds of ways, whether it's highlighting, whether it's writing out hand lettering, banners and headers and things in my work planner or my everyday planner. These are just perfect, and they're small enough so that they will work with the very small grids in a Hobonichi Weeks, but they also work in my really large, accommodating, like 5mm grid work planner. So, you know, it's great to find a pen that's so versatile. Now, if I'm looking to write in black, can't go wrong with Tombow's Fudenosuke pen. This is the one in the hard tip. I do use this one more than the soft tip, especially in my Hobonichi Weeks, but I use the soft tip one a lot when I'm doing like the calendar brush lettering in my work planner, which is an A5, so you've got a lot more space and room to be a little bit more fun with the way you're hand lettering. But this one works great when you're just trying to do like good, solid, legible lines. I do really like this one a lot. It's also really great for beginners if you're not used to a softer nib. Really great way to start. Also, like I said, if you're looking for like a black line with a small brush pen, this is definitely the way I would recommend going. And when you're going with colors, this is actually fairly new to me. I'd never heard of Writech before. It just popped up in my Amazon You Might Be Interested feed, and then I looked up some YouTube videos and I just kind of fell in love with them. I'd been using the Pentel brush sign pens, which are great. I still use them constantly, but the colors that are available are not really ones that I gravitate towards. You've got your basic primary shades, and I think I primarily use the gray in that one. So one pen out of all of those really beautiful bright colors, but yeah. And now they have the pastel line, which I still only use a couple of colors out of. So when I saw these, I have these Writechs in both retro. These are all from the retro line, and then also a natural line, which is slightly just like kind of a muted version of primary colors. I'm not sure how to describe them, but they're definitely not as vibrant as your standard Pentel pens. So I really like the way these write. They're quite soft, so you know you get a really nice line variation going on, but they're still small, so it works perfectly for header work in Hobonichi Weeks, but it can be large and bold enough for a much larger planner if your preferences go that way. But again, I really fell in love with these because not only do they write well, but the colors are just exactly what I want. So I do think they have one other line. It might be Brights, but I'm not 100%. I'm so sorry about that. But definitely recommend both the retro and the neutrals or naturals. Those are both just great color schemes, and they come with a number of pens to the pack. And I just think it's a great deal. You can get those like for the last time I got them a bit on sale, so it was $15 for a pack, and it was totally worth it. Okay, so these are all some of my absolute favorite pens, markers, and pencils, and hopefully something in here has been interesting or maybe caught your eye. If this video has been at all helpful or entertaining to you, please consider liking or possibly even subscribing. So if you have any questions about these, I'm happy to answer. Just put it down in the comments. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!